great little tool to make it even more exciting. All these different ways that we make this more fun for you at home. Of course, the app, and of course, Poker Stake. Why not have a piece of one of these guys when they get to the final table? Be cheering for those flips.
Cheering for those flips. Well, how about if I'm going to stake a guy? Like, I kind of want him to get it in as an 80-20 if possible. Chidwick in the big with Queen 10.
Yeah, gonna be happy to call here. Let's see 3. Let's try to flop some equity. Let's get it in. Obviously no fold equity pre-flop. No reason to put it all in there. And that's going to be really bad news for Stephen Chidwick.
2 overs against the trip 9s.
And remarkably, has the exact amount of chips that the pot is right now. So when you flop 2 overs in a gut shot, in this scenario, when you started the hand with 7 bigs, I kind of think you have to go with it.
Well, let's see if Watson continuation bets.
Well, he might not even get the chance, so he does give him the opportunity.
Does check over to Watson. Trip 9's ace kicker. As good as it gets.
Minimum bet.
So what is the play here for Chidwick? Is it check call? Is it check jam?
I honestly
both?
I haven't studied these spots enough at this stack depth, but I know that Chidwick is continuing, that's for sure. Does he imagine he ever gets ace high to fold? No. So do we need to shove? Maybe just call here, and then if the turn comes something like an ace, we don't need to, we can hold on to our last 4 big blinds and have a full rotation of. I mean, that's the thing. The way that these masterminds utilize their very short stacks when it becomes that way is one of the coolest skills that I think we see on the tour, right? I'm sure if you're watching this at home when it started, you see this flop just like I did, and I just said, well, he's out of the tournament. He has 4 outs. But now, facing the small bet, maybe he just wants to call and reevaluate, and then
250.
Interesting. He does come in with a raise, but not all in. It's check raise minimum.
How are these guys finding mileage out of these stacks right now? It's amazing. The hand starts, and I just think, oh, probably a front shove. Min bet. Min re-raise.
It is interesting. What if he puts his opponent on like an ace high, his opponent calls, and then like a 7 drops, and he jams, and he just gets some ace rag to fold? I mean, it's possible. Regardless, a 6 on the turn, now giving Stephen Chidwick a double gutter, extra ammo. Chidwick, check raise min to flop. Was it with intentions to jam the turn?
Well, when the turn gives you more equity in the form of another straight draw, and the way that the 6 interacts with that 9-9-8, the times that you were just check raising a 6-7 or a 10-7 or a 10-6.
Well, he is going to push in 400, leave 25K back. Watson asking for the rest, and Chidwick will be at risk. 18% looking for a jack or a 7 to stay in, or he'll be our first elimination.
Here's Johnny.
Here's a 9.
Just quads.
The end of Chidwick. Watson up to 7.1 million chips. GG.
New chip leader, and well-deserved. Almost as a direct response to us freezing him out in the intro, not even mentioning one of the greatest tournament players in the world, but there as well, also one walking out in Stephen Chidwick.
Chidwick wins $103,000 for that performance. 2 titles, $19 million in Triton earnings, 37 cashes. He was just so amazing to watch the other day. As we mentioned, hero call after hero call after hero call. Every single decision was correct. But this time, unable to get there with that queen 10.
Yeah, and that's how tournament poker works too, right? I mean, it appeared like he played perfect all tournament, and that's still, you know, not going to be enough.
Which will be a $325,000 match. For the eventual 2 players remaining. For now, though, we need to continue on with these 8. Sherzhatu, pocket 7s. Min raise. David Yan, ace 9. Hitting the muck. Razai's got king jack in the small blind. Clear short stack. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, going to be, I would say,
Uh-oh.
about breaking even. Wow, look at this.
Morton Klein reshoving ace king. And what does Sherzhatu do now?
Fold.
He is going to fold.
Sad.
Scurrying quick.
Sherzhatu folds the 7s against the 2 unpaired hands.
Coming, right?
Oh, great callback
Ace come before.
from Daniel Rizai there. One of the only things we heard Morton Klein say over the last few days was the jack always comes on the river when he was all in with jacks against the aces of David Yan before we merged this final table. And Daniel makes that reference. You said the jack's always coming on the river, right?
Well, what's bad is it doesn't matter because he is officially drawing dead as Morton Klein makes the nut flush on the turn, and that is the end of Daniel Rizai. 8th place, 125K in the pocket. So that was it for the Austrian. First final table here in Montenegro. Played well, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, ran into a couple unfortunate spots, most notably the ace-10 of spades against the kings of Morton Klein. Then coolered again by Morton Klein with that ace-jack, ace-6. Somehow survived, and then... Yeah, so, I mean, upon further, I guess, reflection, you know, Ding, I don't think, wants to get too tricky with his big hands at this stage with the ICM implications. Sherzhatu only having 20 big blinds. You want to start putting your money in when you have your good hands, not necessarily get too tricky.
Probably also doesn't expect Sturm Stack to attack as much,
Yeah.
but I'm going to guess if he was up against one of the 3 big stacks, he
Yeah,
will limp
that's
more
kind
often.
of that's kind of where my mentality was at.
Sturm in the small blind, suited king. Plays 19 big blinds against the chip leader in the big blind.
All in.
Oh, he's gone all in. And Kiat Lee grabbing black chips, immediately dropping them, snapping him off with pocket queens. Sturm's at risk.
Wow, it is for a lot of chips in the form of 19 big blinds, but pretty strong
misstep.
hand. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure he's
timing.
run the numbers on something like this. You know, there's really only 3 other kings that can call you, so you're going to get some better kings to fold sometimes.
Does pick up some outs with the pair of 7s.
Still pretty live, you know. 30% pre-flop, 23% here. A club would make things very interesting.
No club. Still has one more chance with 5 outs. And that's the end of Leon Sturm.
And Kiat Lee up to 10 million. We've been talking about it. Just incredible results here on the Triton Tour, but somehow of the 22 caches, not a single title to his name. Could this be the event that changes?
It's looking like it for Kiatli. Just under 10 million. Hand was easy for him. Blind versus blind. Snapped it off with 2 queens,
看拿
and
了多少，我有10把的没有，
Sturm gonna be disappointed with that result.
都顶住。
It's always great to see one of the best online MTT players come out to the live felt, take their hand against the best players in the world. We'll be happy to score 173K, although a bit bittersweet as he did seek that title. GG. Between David Yan, Watson, Ding Biao, and Klein, they're separated by just a few big blinds, and then the clear chip leader of Kiatli on 50 big blinds and 10 million chips. Queen Jack for Yan. This seems like one of those hands that players like to use as a 3-bet.
I think this might even be a shove. David Yan is only effectively, yeah, wow, just folds it instead.
Interesting. Does open the door for Sherzhatu to get involved with King Queen. Seen him earlier reshove with King Queen against Chidwick, where he got there. Things are different though as he's in the big blind and he's got a bigger stack. Makes the call. King 9. How about that one?
2 diamonds. That ace deuce of diamonds.
True.
Yeah, it's interesting, the fold pre-flop from Kiatli. I just think that if he isn't prepared to shove, it's probably just better to fold than to call or 3-bet fold. And now we just have these two clashing.
David Yan following through with a mini bet of 200K. Decisions for Sherzhatu, whether to check raise or check call. Does go for the ladder. And the 10 comes in for David Yan, who makes the straight disaster for Sherzhatu.
And a stack to pot ratio, about 1.5 to 1 for Sherzhatu. David Yan with an excellent opportunity to get everything from a king if his opponent has it, which he does. You know, 9Xs will be folding here on the turn. Some flush draws will be folding, so David is just praying that Sherzhatu has that king.
550 is the price. Is there a way for Sherzhatu not to lose it all right now?
I will say there is some merit in just calling. I mean, if you expect that when you check shove here, you're only getting called by worse, you may as well just keep the bluffs in there and then pay off the value that beats you by the river. If somehow, miraculously, he has better than you, which in this particular instance, somehow, David Yan has.
But not this river card.
No.
It's a 5. No flushes come in. No 4-liners. This could be the end of the road for Sherzhatu if David Yan asks for it all. $2.6 in the middle, 1.6 back. Yan trying to find the perfect bet size.
Such a big moment at this 30K final table right now.
All in is the play from David Yan. And Sherzhatu doesn't feel too good about this one.
Not a snap call, and I don't know if it's possible for him to get away, but it's like we discussed, right? He's not beating any value here except maybe King Jack.
I agree. King Jack is the worst value he beats.
You know, David probably doesn't open many worse kings, maybe any worse kings than King 10 suited, King 9 suited, which are boats. Pocket 9s are in play, pocket 10s are in play. Of course, the Queen Jack, which you block, holding King Queen.
Is it relevant that he doesn't have a diamond in hand?
It is, but it's a bit difficult to three-barrel diamonds here, I think, because you having the diamonds, I mean, it makes it very likely your opponent has something very strong like a king here. I mean, you're not calling twice with Jack 9, right? If you're Sherzhatu.
Right.
What are you calling twice with? A lot of, kings, maybe Jack 10, still like getting dicey. Maybe 10x of diamonds, something like a 10-8 of diamonds, 10-7 of diamonds, which would have called in the big. So this is incredibly impressive that we haven't seen this player already be eliminated from the tournament.
Giving David Yan a look. Can he pick up a read?
Yeah, and actually looking at the relative positions here too. Kiat leads fold pre-flop with that ace deuce of diamonds makes a lot more sense. He's in quite early position here. And I mention it because I wonder how the dynamic of the hand might have changed if Kiat Lee was in the pot and this went three-way to the turn, making it more likely that Sherzhatu would be perceived to have a king. Just heads up here.
Look at how many time banks have been deposited. Oh, he almost called there. He is going to make the call and going to see the bad news from David Yan. He just knew it but couldn't follow through.
Wow, that is a very impressive bust out from Sherzhatu, almost slipping away from the grasps of Miss Oracle. And we are down to 5.
We are down to 5. As David Yan picks up a massive pot. You got to feel for Sherzhatu Hisu. He really knew he was behind, but the price was just a little bit too good for him.
It's just such a strong hand, King Queen.
Thought he played well. Chose his spots.
Very well.
He did make 2 final tables in Jeju, a 5th and a 2nd, adding a final table here in Montenegro in the early goings of the schedule. Good to see him making another deep run here. We know he'll be back.
Absolutely.
Queentown now in the hands of Ding Biao.
I think probably the worst hand he's going to be opening under the gun here, given the stack depths. I think maybe Jack 10 would work in as a fold, so for Ding's sake, hope he gets through the field, but unfortunately for him,
Hard to get through pocket nines.
yeah, 9-9.
Is it 3-bet small or is it 3-bet jam?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a jam here, effectively here.
Have to stack in more, and Klein's got ace-king. I got a
Wow.
coin flip incoming.
Wow,
And-
wow.
So it is going to be
Yeah, he
Morton
signed, puts
Klein.
it in. Going to be thrilled to see Ace King though.
versus
Yes,
David
very
Yan.
happy.
55-45.
Do you see the visceral reaction from David Yan, like just the ICM implications of it, how big this pot's going to be?
He didn't love it.
No, he doesn't like being in this situation, but you know, sometimes you get dealt two very big hands in late position, and you got to run the cards. David Yan, who's played so well, Morton Klein, who's on a beautiful run here at Triton.
But he's in trouble. No ace or king on the flop. David Yan in the lead. Has Klein covered. 4 on the turn. Does bring opportunities and more outs for a win
Yeah.
for Klein if he can find the deuce.
Ace, King, Deuce, 6. Otherwise, David Yan wins a huge pot.
And it's an 8. The end of Morton Klein. Nothing he can do. Just got to win those flips.
Yeah, all the respect deserved for Morton Klein, now a mainstay in 2 of our 3 events, final tabling them. David Yan stretches his legs, maybe quick bathroom break in between hands or something.
Yeah. Here's Morton Klein. Eliminated in 5th place for $309,000. That is 2 final tables in the 2 events he's played here in Montenegro. Tremendous result. Improving each tournament. Gonna miss him. As we are now down to 4. Griffin.
Yeah. And bit of a 2-horse race with that big flip win for David Yan and Kat Lee, both at pretty much 11 million.
Watson bleeding down to 3.3 million. 13 blinds with King 4 suited.
Yeah, 13 blinds and blinds up in 2.5 minutes. Feels too strong to fold, but probably too weak to shove, so is going to play it as a min with that suited blocker. Getting some fortunate lack of hand from both David Yan and Ding Biao.
He's got Queen 5 offsuit. Making the call here. Put into defense and flopping quad 5s. 5-5-5.
The hell?
The hell is that?
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
I don't even think Ding Biao can believe what he flopped. And Watson's got to think Ding absolutely whiffed it because pocket pairs would just reshove on him. What can he even call down with?
Yeah, I almost think that Ding needs to min raise.
I don't know
And-
about min raise.
Well, I mean, if we're deciding that we shouldn't really have a call range, then we would min raise bluff or min raise have a 5, right?
I can see where you're coming from.
It's almost the only angle. A call just seems so outlandish. Any ace high would have shoved. But listen, it's hard to flop quads.
Like,
So let's just
why not let
let's
him
just
catch up?
allow our opponent to maybe hit something.
They can hit a full house. So he's got a quad full house, right? Is that a thing?
Quad house?
Quad house? Watson actually picked up a flush draw, which he thinks maybe it wins sometimes against some other king highs, if he can find another spade, but we all can see that he's drawing dead.
I mean, Watson is almost wearing his confusion. Like, why would you be calling here? This seems ridiculous. Another part of Ding's flatting range, of course, will be pocket aces,
Yep.
which could very much call pre and then call on the flop. Yeah. Sir Watts is not, this is just like, he's not going to fall for this.
How does Dingyal want to bet himself? If he fears a check back. I mean, he has the whole board. What can Watson have to call down? Could be some pocket pair, though, right? Between 5 and queen. I could see it. Does rip it in. Trying his best to make it look like a bluff. But Watson has to lay down that king high. Ace king now in the hands of David Yan.
So ace king for Watson and now ace king for Yan.
King queen suited for Kiatli.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a hand you could reshove, right?
yeah, these chips are just going in here. David Yan is going to have a raise fold range. King queen suited can be way too strong, four-handed.
Oh, man.
Only Michael Watts behind.
David Yan quickly calling in prime position to double up to 11.75 million. Kiatli.
Yeah, and you can see a bit of a defeated look on Kiatli's face. Almost seems unfair. Such a big cooler at this stage for so few chips, but because we're playing so short stacked, especially with the blinds going up, this means so much. This would put, Kiatli down there in the counts and vault up David Yan. Big swing, whatever happens here.
Here we go. Queen high flop, Kiatli taking the lead. David Yan now looking for an ace or a 10, hoodie down. He knows he's in dire straits. Turn is the 6.
And Kiatli with 6 second and third place finishes. Is he going to get lucky here? Give him a great chance to win his first Triton title, and that's going to be a huge pot to win.
That is going to sting for the Kiwi. David Yan, a 4th place finish for $387,000. That is just unfair, isn't it, Griffin?
Yeah. David will be disappointed. Was in a very good position to at least finish final 3, but a very, very impressive performance from the online legend known as Miss Oracle.
Yeah.
There he is.
Did his best. Does have 1 Triton title under his belt. Won't be getting that second one with 4.9 million in Triton earnings. GG to David Yan. A7 for Kiatli.
And 19 bigs effective. Might just shove, and does.
Ding Biao's got pocket jacks. He's snapping this one off, and this is a massive pot. 18.3 million. If Ding Biao can hold, he would have a stranglehold on this table. Kiat Lee would be down to about 4.5 million.
And is it Kiat Lee's time? Is he finally going to claim a Triton title? He would need to
Need to get
suck
there.
out here and then deal with the last 15 big blinds of Michael Watson. And there is the ace.
Gets there on the flop. Ding Biao needs a jack. And only a jack. One more chance to stay in. And that's the end of the road for Ding Biao. Brutal.
Another brilliant performance from Ding Biao. Third place for $475,000.
Just thought he played so well, right?
Yeah, always from what we've seen.
Came down to him getting to 2 jacks, calling it off, and unable to hold against Kiat Lee. But it was a great performance so far for Ding Biao of China. 4th place finish in the 25K event number 1. 3rd place now here. Safe to say, we're going to see more of Ding Biao.
Michael Watson getting a clear shove hand on 8 big blinds. Kiat Lee with a suited queen in the big.
Rips it in.
I think it would certainly be enough for 5, 6 big blinds. Maybe close with 7, 8. It's a bit tricky.
Does have 38% equity, 2 live cards.
You would just hate to fold here when your opponent has Jack 10, and that's exactly what Kiat Lee is thinking.
So Kiat makes the call. He can finish this tournament if he can just get a deuce or a queen or some spades to knock out Watson.
Can this be the one? A 38% chance.
Never forgive you, Danny.
Danny
Coming, yeah.
rooting on Kiat Lee. Spade followed by an ace. Kiat now going to need running cards. Already with the prepay. Deuce brings life. 5 outs. Into the river. And that's a double up for Michael Watson.
It's 4-8-5.
You got a game or what?
We might have a game.
Two to 1 chip lead. You think Kiat's still thinking about that queen deuce suited call? Kind of seems a little unsure of himself.
It's certainly close.
Like it's like a 1 big blind difference. You're not sure which way
Yeah.
it is, right?
Yeah.
Five X. Seems like a spot where Watson's going to want to check, given what happened when he raised the 10-4.
Right you are, my friend. Ooh.
Open-ended for Kiat Lee, gut shot for Watson.
It's not the kind of open-ended you want. That 8 will give Watson the higher straight. The improbable straight over straight and heads up.
Check round and flop in. I could see it possibly where Watson bets and Kiat calls, and we're just playing high card versus high card. 600 is the price. This river is going to be very interesting. whether it hits or not. And the 9 gives Watson the best pair. Pair of 9s. He might be thinking it's value time, right? Against a 7 or 6 as played, rather than check to induce.
So you can take a 7 out of Kiat's range because he would have bet on the flop, right?
Okay.
In position. So even a 6, I think, would bet a lot. So I don't know really what you're attacking here. Maybe you're doing this blocky bet to reassess if you're faced with a raise.
2.8.
Well, Kiat's thinking about raising, and he
Yeah.
does. With a spade in hand, blocking some of those flushes. Now what does Watson do? Can this ever be just a king from Kiat as played?
Yeah. Because of the small nature of the river bet. Especially a king with like a spade where you feel a bit more comfortable that you're not up against a flush.
Finding bluffs might be difficult for Watson, but it is 5-4 offsuit. Did Watson induce action with the small bet? Watson grabs calling chips and puts them in. Nicely played.
Too good.
There we go. Sir Watts.
Just too good.
That hand is a statement.
Yeah, and what does it say about the kind of hand that he called with, right? He blocks with the 5, a hand like 5-4. He doesn't have a spade in his hand. So what is the hand that calls the turn and then somehow is bluffing on the river, and then to bet call, it's just...
Watson now with 86. Limping. Queen 6 dominating. And the queen on the flop gives Kiat Lee top pair. Open-ended for Michael Watson. This could get interesting depending on how Kiat wants to play it. If Watson bets the flop, but he doesn't.
Oh, tricky.
And he hits the straight. What is Kiat Lee going to do now? He's got to think he's got the best hand, right?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, for God's sakes, he blocks 8-6 with the 6 in hand. So this is a really great hand to have, Queen 6. You're looking to get value from 9x, 7x, whatever else might call you on this turn. You're very, very happy. And this is just complete, utter disaster for
Two-thirds pot.
the Malaysian. Just brutal.
Puts in 1.6. He's trying to go for max value. Hence the size up. 2 flush draws present.
Yep.
Does Watson want to protect against the draws, but risk losing his customer? So he is cutting out a raise. That raise is $4 million.
Understanding that Kiat Lee, with the 2 flush draws out there, might have a hand he'd be prepared to put the rest of Michael Watson's $9 million in with.
So does he call or jam in this spot? It is plausible that Watson turned some hearts, possibly. Not sure if he'll play it in this manner.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I feel so badly for Kiat Lee. Just been playing so well. And just getting coolered here, really.
Oh, he's made the call, bringing the pot to 10,400,000. River card, the 4 of hearts. Might this give Kiat Lee an opportunity to escape if he puts an opponent on hearts or 2-pair plus? Nice thing for Watson, right? Having that 8 of hearts block a little bit of those flushes just in case that's in Kiat's range.
Definitely a consideration.
All in.
All in. Wow, what do you do now?
Just puts out all of his time bank chips in advance, saying, I'm going to need these.
So this was a limp pot. Check, check on the flop. Top pair versus open-ended. Then the turn. Brought in the straight for Watson. Kiat leads 1.6, gets raised to 4 million. And now facing the jam from Watson on this river card. What can he beat? Blocks some of the value with that 6.
It just feels like it would be such a sophisticated and almost unnecessary bluff in a way, like that it flies in the face of what they've been doing, right? It just would seem a little random for him to just check this back and then find this raise and then find this shove. I mean, of course, these players are capable of so many incredible things and wild bluffs. And Kiat Lee has top pair and blocks the straight on the turn. But what is Michael Watson's angle here? What is the bluff? It was quite a big bet on the turn, a strong bet from Kiat Lee, right? He should have a pretty strong range, betting so big on the turn, calling the raise. There's so many levels to what's going on in this.
He is deep in the tank. So hard to fold top pair. In heads up.
Whatever happens here, Michael Watson will be your new chip leader. But will it be basically over? Will it leave Kiat Lee with 2.4 million chips?
Oh, touching the cards. No decision yet. Chip still in hand. Oh, he's made the call. Sees the bad news. Kiat on vapors.
And that might be the end of the line for Kiat Lee. Once again, so close. Of course, it's not over. Does still have 3 big blinds remain, but that certainly has to be the hand of the tournament. And perhaps the Michael Watson mountain was a bit too hard to climb. The final boss, too high level, and really battled. But let's not count our chickens quite yet. Let's see if Kiat can get a little lucky here and get back into contention. I mean, really, all it's going to take is 2 all-ins, and he will be back into that 12 big blind versus 17, 18 big blind area.
Time is to just keep your head in the game, maybe get that spin up, worry about that hand after the tournament's over. But these next 2 cards are very important. They are likely to go in.
Well, at least we have a fair fight.
Got a lot more in than that.
A clean flip here. Watson's pocket 5s against Kiat Lee's queen 6. Queen 6 again seems to be his undoing. Ironically, I have to say too, Randy, is that was the hand that Watson said it was really spooky that he got dealt the exact cards back to back. So queen 6 has been the story for the last couple rotations. Oh wow.
Top set for Watson. Open-ended for Kiat Lee. Looking for that deuce or 7. Oh, more outs in the form of hearts.
I love it. Give him a chance. Put me in, coach. Just one more hand.
Can Kiat get there to stay alive in this heads-up match? No. And that's it. Mike Watson wins event number 3 for over $1 million. Well deserved.
Yeah, just an incredible poker player. So interesting to watch. So intricate. You could see that he was either already had a bunch of fans or gaining new ones that were watching online. And yeah, what a treat. A Canadian native, so one of my people, and just an amazing win for over $1 million.
You did call it. You said Watson was the guy to take down this title. Got a feel for Kiat Lee, who got so close, had the chip lead in this heads up for the majority of the match, but made the big call down with the queen 6 to lose to the straight of Kiat Lee. Will have to settle for second.